Hi everyone, and welcome back to the first episode in quite some time of Underwater Updates. It has been a long time since I have updated, so I decided that I would go ahead and just show every tank and show you guys how all the tanks have been progressing since then. All that and more, up next. All right, so this is the 36 gallon. I'll just start with this one and then move to the ones in my room. So as you can see, it has really been growing a ton. The jungle val has taken over down here. Unfortunately, if you guys remember in my past video, I did say that Suki, my other goldfish, did pass away. And then about 2 days after that, actually, my blue three-spot guarmi, the pretty big one, he actually was found on the ground, so he jumped out of the tank, which was super sad because he was a fish that I've had for a really long time, probably about a year and a half, almost. Yeah, probably about a year and a half. So yeah, that was really hard, but it's all good. I still have tons of amazing fish in here. That's definitely something that's not in short supply. But I just wanted to kind of touch on just Jamal's getting really big, my goldfish right there that you can see in the middle. My clown loach has started to grow. You can see the bala sharks are even starting to look pretty big. And the pleco and the beta have just kind of been buddies down there. They usually just kind of chill out down there. He, does his work. He's completely ick free. I'll put a link to the video where I showed you how I cured his ick. I'll put a card a little up in the corner right now, so you can go check that out. It's an all-natural way to cure ick, and as you can see, he's doing great now. I added back in this little mountain. Some of you guys may remember this mountain being in there a while ago, or cave, whatever you want to call it. And that's where my dojo loach hangs out inside of, and you can kind of see the reflection of my Pictus catfish. I'll get a better angle for you. There is my Pictus catfish. He likes to hang out behind there. It's just a nice little shady spot for him to hang out. He is a pretty shy fish, but when I use the blue light or when the light is completely off at night, he comes out and swims around and is a lot more active. So that's just kind of a quick little summary of my 36 gallon bow front. The bala sharks have loved having the combination of the power head and the hang on the back filter, making a nice current for them. They swim a lot more than they used to. It's really cool to watch them kind of swim around the current. As you can see, they're just kind of hanging up in the corner right now, but the current flows sort of from the top back down and around down into the bottom. So you can see kind of the dojo loach right now is swimming in it, and there they go. There goes the shark. So they'll swim kind of that little track that goes down and around and just make a little track of sorts through it. It's just really fun, really entertaining to watch. So yeah, that's all for this one. Let's go check out the mini aquaponics tank. All right, so as you guys know by now, this is my mini aquaponics tank. This is the tank where I take kind of my spare plants. You can see a ton of duckweed up at the top. This is where my snails are and where I put the baby mollies every time that the mollies have them. So this molly is probably about, I'd say, an inch now, and he's got two other white mollies that survived with him that are about an inch as well. I have a ton of ram's horn snails in here. You can see I have some brown ones, some blue ones, and those, I mean, are really everywhere. Those breed like crazy. And there are also some smaller baby mollies in here. I can't see them right now, so I might sprinkle a little bit of food in there just so they come out. But yeah, I've got about 6 or 7 mollies that are super. Oh, there's one. Perfect. Where'd he go? Where'd it go? I have no idea where it went, but oh, there it is. There it is. Yep. So teeny tiny little one. You can see it right there. There's about 6 or 7 of those. They were born probably about 2 weeks ago. Now we can see. Here's some 2 little ones down over here. So these ones were born, and then that's when I decided to take the parents out and put them into the 15 gallon. And so that way, I pretty much just put them into the 15 gallon because they're going to continue to have babies, and so I want to make sure that I can easily grab them and put them into the aquaponics tank so they can have the babies, and then just remove them and put them back when they are finished having the babies. But yeah, so once these ones get big enough, they'll go into the 15 gallon or possibly into the 36 gallon just to give them a little bit more room. But like I said, it is easier for me to get them out and bring them into this little aquaponics slash baby having tank if they are in the 15, just because it makes it easier for me to catch. There's another one, another baby. You can see him right up there above the filter. And this one just has the sponge filter in it with the air pump. I'm not gonna do any kind of hang on the back filter on this just because there are so many plants in here filtering it. We've got a good layer of substrate filtering it, and I definitely don't want any type of motorized filter to suck in the babies because when they are born, they are super, super tiny. But yeah, that's a quick little update on this aquaponics, and now we can go check out the 15 gallon tank. All right, so here's the 15 gallon tank where the mollies are at. There is my beta Mojito. He actually, during the move a little bit after, I think he was just kind of stressed, but you can kind of notice that his fins, his long, pretty beta fins, are a little bit shorter than they usually are. They're starting to get back that red color, so that means they're growing back, because when they cut down on him, he loses that red color, and then as they start to grow back, he gains that red right around the edge. So they're definitely starting to come back. He's a lot more active than he was when we first moved about almost a month ago now. But as you can see, the plants in here are going crazy. Those two Ludwiga back there are growing. They're about, I'd say, 1.5 feet tall. This moneywort right here is about 1.5 feet tall. And then you can see these little Ludwiga, they're just sprouting like crazy down here. The neon tetras are really starting to school and just explore. There is ram's horn snails everywhere now in here. Which all started from, I believe, just 2. That one back there, the big brown guy, is the very first one that I ever got, and he was just actually a hitchhiker from when I got these plants a couple months ago. You can see this Amazon sword that actually originally started in here and was, you know, probably about 6 inches high with just about 4 or 5 leaves, has now grown into a 2-foot tall monster. But it makes for a really nice centerpiece in this 15 gallon column aquarium. Since the plants go so high, the fish tend to swim higher up and around. Not right now. There's the frog, he's chilling. They're not really swimming up and around right now just because I'm down here, so I think they think I'm gonna feed them down here. But yeah, the neon tetras have really started to explore the middle ground of the tank. You can see the black-eyed tetras behind. Okay, the mollies are very hungry right now. I did already feed them today, but they definitely think that I'm about to feed them again based on them hanging out by the camera. But yeah, you can see there's the red-eyed tetras back there. The neon tetras are in the front. We do have the black skirt tetras in here as well. It really is a very pretty community tank with all the color and all the different kinds of fish, and the mollies are probably, you know, the biggest fish in here, and they probably would prefer to go into the 36 gallon, so I might be moving them into there, especially as the baby mollies grow up and they need more room. Either that or check out a local pet store and see if maybe I can sell some of them to the pet store, and then that way they can go to a home with plenty of room for them to swim around, or even just hang out at the pet store with plenty of room to swim around until they find that. But I do also really enjoy having the mollies. They have a pretty interesting personality, and they're definitely a personable fish. They know that I'm here and they know that I feed them, so that's always fun to have. You can see this black molly right here looking right at me, trying to get me to feed him. But yeah, so maybe once I get the babies to mature a little bit more to where the parents won't eat them, I'll move them all into the 36 gallon. My only concern would be that if they continue to breed, that there won't be enough cover in the 36 gallon and a few too many predators for those babies to survive. So we're just gonna kind of have to play it by ear. But for now, they're hanging out in the 15 gallon. Everyone in here is a community fish. Everyone in here looks great. And yeah, the plants are growing like crazy in here, which I really enjoy because with such a tall tank, it's really cool to see the plants grow up all the way to the water surface. You can see that the floating plants are kind of struggling in this tank. If you go check out my video about Amazon Frogvit tips and tricks, I can put a card to that video right now. It talks about how floating plants generally are the first ones to go when the nutrients start to lack in a tank, just because they don't have roots and they get their entire nutrient dose from the water column. So, or they do have roots, but they don't have roots in the substrate, excuse me. So all the nutrients that they have has to come from the water column. So I'll probably start dosing this with some nutrients. As you can see, some of the leaves are starting to get a little brown in places and a few holes. So probably should, yeah, definitely start dosing with some nutrients just to, you know, give this tank the boost it needs without giving it an algae spike. But that's what these little snails are for, is to handle that algae. And as you can see, other than the few watermarks that are on here, this tank is pretty clean, especially from algae, and I rarely have to clean the glass. So dosing with nutrients at the appropriate amount should definitely not spike any algae. But yeah, so that's a quick update on all of my tanks. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll try and continue to post more content. I've just been a little bit busy lately, but still thinking about you guys at Underwater Updates. So always remember to stay updated, and thank you for watching. See you guys next time.